everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to color a mouth with colored pencils and oil pastel. First I'm going to take my kneaded eraser and I'm just going to erase the lines so I can barely see them. Now I want this person to be wearing some lipstick, so I have my red oil pastel right here. I'm going to start with the bottom lip first and just show you what I am doing right now. It's actually the bottom half of the lip that I'm coloring in right now. And for the top lip, I'm going to color in a little bit more red. I'm actually leaving a border between the pencil line and the oil pastel. And this will make it so the lip doesn't look pasted on to the rest of the face, that it actually looks like it's part of the face. Next I'm going to take this peachy oil pastel color and I'm going to go into the highlights. I think I want the highlights to be coming from the left, so that's where we're going to put them. Next I'm going to take this goldeny color and I'm going to color in where the shadows are. Just have a paper towel here. I'm going to blend in the oil pastel. So now the mouth pretty much looks like a mess, and we're going to get a little bit messier before we get cleaner. I have right here some mineral spirits or paint thinner. You can get this at an art store, or I know that Menards sells big huge gallon jugs. I guess it depends on how much you draw or paint, but I'm just starting with the lips here, and I'm painting in the direction that the lines of the lips would go, or how lips are, because lips sort of fold out like flower petals. So when you draw them, you should have the lines sort of extending out in a sort of radial design, because that's how lips are in real life. I'm washing my brush, and then I'm going to start with the rest of the skin. I'm going to wait for all this to completely dry before moving on to the next step. Alright, so now the paint thinner is all dry, hooray! And as you can see, like, even putting the paint thinner right next to the red lips has sort of led to a transfer of the red onto the skin tone, but that's okay because we're going to clean it up pretty soon with some colored pencilness. I'm going to start with the lighter mid-tones first. This is light peach, and I'm using it to go over what was once the peachy oil pastel that we laid down before. And this is peach next, and I'm going to use this to sort of flesh out the darker shadows in the midtones. So it would be anywhere where I put the gold would be where I'm going to put this peach. And on the cupid's bow of the lip is sort of this triangle like structure. I know it has a name, but I can't really remember the name right now. So this triangle-like structure, and I want to keep this area right here as a highlight. And there's a shadow right underneath the lip right here, and this is the shadow that sort of carves out the chin. Now this is obviously a female that I'm drawing the mouth for right now, but for a male you would want to make this line more straight and more well defined. think I'm going to start going lighter and filling out the highlights next. So I'm not using white yet, I'm just going to use cream, and I'm going to highlight this little triangle here above the Cupid's bow. And you can see as I add the cream, it sort of brings everything together and brings it to life a little bit more. I'm just using a lighter color to fill out these areas right here. You don't want to outline the lips too much, especially if you're doing red lips like this, because that again leads to the problem with having the lips look pasted on your drawing and not actually part of the drawing. So you just want to ever only define the top, the bottom, and these corners of the lips too. And the viewer who's looking at it, brain, will hopefully fill in the rest of these lines. We're going to go a little bit darker with this dark umber color, and I'm going to use this to fill in the darker highlights as well as some of the shadows on the skin. And because I cast the light source over here, the darker shadows are going to be over here. And of course on this line right here. And I'm just going to go into the corners of the mouth with this dark umber color. Because if you look at pictures of lips on Google as the mouth recedes and sort of goes back, it gets darker at the corner of the lips. So that's what we're going to do to sort of mimic that effect. Now there are lines in the lip, like if you look at your lip you have just little lip wrinkles or whatever you want to call them, and I'm going to use dark purple to outline these lip wrinkles or lip lines, or I don't know what they're called, but they're there, so I'm going to draw them. Anyway, you don't want to use any blue when you're drawing lips or anything that will gray out the lips. I mean, unless they're wearing blue or black lipstick, then you definitely can, but if you're trying to draw the red lips or natural lips, putting blue in them or black or any gray colors for the lines will actually sort of make your portrait person look a little bit deceased, which is why I'm keeping to the purple colors and just trying to maintain this red right here. We're going to go in with Scarlet Red, Scarlet Lake, and I'm using hard pressure because I want to sort of blend all the inconsistencies of the red oil pastel out. I'm not coloring in the center of the lip yet. I'm just going over the lines that I put in with the dark purple, and I'm coloring in the outside of the lip. That's where I've actually noticed that red lipstick is the strongest when people put it in. It's usually on the outside of the lip because that's where the lip is applied, and then as you go inner into the actual mouth area, it gets a little bit lighter. This part of the lip is being bitten, so I'm going to start outlining where the teeth would be. They were there. Okay. Just continue on with this hair coloring thing. Here we go. Next I'm using carmine red or carmine red and filling in the lighter part of the lips. Now I'm going to take this cool gray 30% and actually go in and start redefining those lines I drew with the teeth. Let's see here. Actually, the lip should go a little bit more down to this line right here. So I fixed the line of this lip right here because it was a little bit too high for the teeth, but anyway. I outlined the teeth with cool gray 30%, and yes, I'm going to darken them up. I'm just using this sepia color to make that cast shadow over the teeth. I'm just going to add some more general shadows over the teeth with warm gray 30%. I'm going to use white, not very much, and just in the middle. You don't want to drag any of this red lip color to the white teeth, well, because that's basically every red lipstick wearer's nightmare, or so I hear. So just going to keep things nice and idealistic for this person I'm drawing who has the red lips. The next step is I'm just outlining this part with the teeth in it with warm gray. That's what I did, and I'm bringing that warm gray shadowness out to the corners of the lips to add a little bit extra depth. I'm not using too much pressure because, again, don't want to make the lips too gray or too dark. Just taking my white and I'm adding a little bit of highlight to the bottom lip. Bottom lips usually are where all the highlight goes. For the lips, you can put maybe a little bit on the top lip, but not too much. Okay. And so yeah, that is how you color a pair of lips, and you can do so many variations. You can see right here I did a glossy pink lip, and this one right here is another red lip, but it's more matte than this one right here. But yeah, experiment and have fun. And until next time, guys, bye!